Hey everyone, how's it going today? Coach Alvarez here, back at you with another episode, Coffee with Coach. Hope you're up doing well. Got the mind in the right place. If not, as always, let's put in the right place. So today, I want to share with you guys steps, or I guess tips 3 and 4 from Earl Nightingale's video I was watching. So I shared tips 1 and 2 last week. And I want to just continue down the path. He's got like 12 steps or tips, and it's kind of a lot of information to kind of throw in one video. So I'm gonna break it up into like pieces of like both tips. So anyways, again, going through the routine, start my day off like I normally do, and I'm listening to this stuff over and over again. Again, YouTube it just throws stuff my way because of the things that I listen to. So it's like more positive reinforcement kind of thing. So this Earl Nightingale has so many videos on YouTube. So like every morning I get up, I'm getting a new one, or throughout the day I'm getting a new one. So I'm just clicking on them and just listening to them. And as I'm going through my day, doing my chores, whatever I'm doing, I'm just getting these goodies, and I'm just going to share them with you guys. All right. So steps 3, or tip number 3, it's impossible to succeed without other people. Okay. Like you can't succeed by yourself. And I think we should all know that. So basically you need to have a good attitude towards other people, treat people good, treat people with respect. And in return, they'll treat you good, treat you with respect, and help you. So you help other people, they help you. It's a back and forth kind of thing, kind of recycles through each other. And then that's how you become successful. Like no one can get places by themselves. And if they say like they're self-made or whatever, like it's impossible, because someone's helping you along the way. Like I know like where I started from, like with jiu-jitsu, teaching out of my garage like 14 years ago, and then now having the academy that I have now. I'm the only owner, and I'm not in a business partnership with anyone. But like throughout those years, if it wasn't for just so many people helping me along the way, like I just wouldn't be where I'm at. So I need other people to succeed. I need other people, like for my training, for my jiu-jitsu, my students. That's why I don't cross-train anywhere else. I just train with just my students. And my mindset with that is like, if I give everything I can to my students, in return, they're going to give it back to me. That's just the way my mindset's always been. And so it works. I'm proof of that, because I've done the things that I've done successfully on the competition scene. And that's all from my own students, like taking white belts, blue belts, purple belts, and some brown belts, like throughout the years, and now black belts. Before they even became black belts, they were only blue and purple belts, and showed them whatever I could, or helped them as much as I could. And in return, they have helped me get to where I'm at competition-wise. I need good students to go out and compete. I need students to come at me and give me a hard time. And I can't do that if I'm holding back from them. So I give them everything I can, provide as much information as I can, try to help them become the best version of themselves on and off the mat. And in return, they help me do the same. And so I've become really successful, to me, on and off the mat, because of that recycling of like just trying to give, and then they give it back. Okay. So it doesn't always work out the way you plan, but for the most part, it does. So step number 3, it's impossible to succeed without other people. And so his tip was like, your attitude towards others will determine their attitude towards yours. People know, like if you care about them or not. They can feel it, they can sense it or whatever. So if you're not giving 100%, they're not going to give you 100%. So you're just not going to get where you want to get to if you're not giving other people, the time and attention that they need and deserve. And in return, you're not going to get that from them either. So it's a no-win situation. But it's a win-win if you help and try to do as much for other people, and in return, they'll do it for you. Okay, so that's really good stuff. And again, I'm proof of that, because, and I think anyone can relate to that, right? Like wherever you've gotten to so far in your life that's successful, like someone helped you along the way, some form or fashion. All right. Number 4, I really like number 4, because I think a lot of people have trouble with this. You have to become what you want before you can have it. Like he says, you have to walk, talk, act, and conduct yourself as the person you wish to become before you can become that person. And so sometimes we wish we could have things or be this way or be that way, but we're not acting that way. We're not talking that way. Again, I talk about a lot of the reasoning behind these episodes are because, again, over the years of teaching jiu-jitsu, I get to hear the way people talk about themselves. And then most of the time, it's not good. It's very rarely do I hear someone really talk good about themselves. And a lot has to do with like, well, if you talk good about yourself or you talk highly about yourself, people think you're bragging and you're arrogant and, you're conceited and whatever else. And so people don't like to talk like that. Well, I do because I think highly of myself. I don't think anything, again, like I'm not going to put myself down. And so that rubs a lot of people the wrong way. Like I know I'm good at a lot of things. Like I know I'm successful at a lot of things, but that's because of my attitude. Like I want to be successful. Like I want to win in life. And so I have to think that way. I have to talk that way. I have to be that way. And then I can become that way. And a great example is like, he's like, steel, okay, can't be formed into what you want it to be until you have the molding. So you got to have a mold, right? Like you got to have a form of something that you're trying to create, and then you pour the iron or the steel or whatever into this mold, and then you have this thing that you want, right? Without the mold, without the foundation, without the perception of in your mind of what this thing is supposed to look like, how can you have it? How can you have this thing or be this person you want to be if you are not acting, talking, walking, or conducting yourself in a way that's going to help you become that person? And I bring that up, and the reason why I said I really like this is because, again, teaching jiu-jitsu, in the beginning, just thinking I'm just going to teach some techniques and I love jiu-jitsu and I have a passion for it. I've come to find out like it's just more over time when you talk to people, they don't talk highly about themselves. They don't act in a successful or good way or like walk with confidence. You know what I mean? Like most people that I come in contact with through jiu-jitsu, when they come through my doors and I meet them on the mat, they beat themselves up to the point where like they don't feel good about themselves. Their self-esteem is low. They could be a very good-looking person, a very good in shape person, or whatever, or what have you, or the other way around. And it's just their mindset just isn't the way it should be, and the way they look at themselves in the mirror every day isn't good. So when they go out into the world and they leave their house, people can see that and feel that. I see it all the time on the mat. Like I can see when people got their head down or the way they feel about themselves, the way they talk, or just body language. Like it's just not good. Versus if you change the way you talk and the way you think, the way you act, the way you conduct yourselves, and hold your head up higher and chest up a little stronger, and talk with some confidence, and just try to become that person already, like acting like that and talking like that, you will become that person. I really, really like that. Like you just can't have success by just wishing upon it or one day just saying, hey, I want to be successful. You have to be like that now. Every day you wake up, you have to conduct yourself in a manner that is successful. Even though you might not have the things that you want right now, you need to act like you have it. I'll give you an example. Like some of the mentors or the guys that I've listened to in the past, there's this one guy, and he would always talk about smelling the leather. Okay, he would go to these expensive car dealerships. I don't know what car he wanted. Maybe it was a Rolls Royce or something, but couldn't afford it. Okay, couldn't afford it. Nowhere close to being able to afford it. Shouldn't even have been in there. Like far as his income and stuff like that. But he would go to these dealerships, and he would smell the leather, touch the leather, feel the leather, sit inside these Rolls Royces and be like, one day I'm going to have this. The other guy I'm listening to, or that I've listened to in the past, he would drive by these really expensive neighborhoods and tell himself, I'm going to live in these neighborhoods. And he would ride through them and act like he lived there. He wouldn't like do anything silly or anything, but he would go into these subdivision or these neighborhoods with these really nice houses that he wanted to live in one day, and constantly drive through there and see himself in this neighborhood. Another guy I listened to, same thing. Walk along the beach, I think it was Laguna Beach or somewhere in California, and there's houses up on the hills. and one day I'm gonna live up there. I've heard so many stories like this, where that's just the way, like, these successful people, when they tell their stories, just they were already in their mind this person that they wanted to become, or live where they wanted to live, or have this car that they wanted to have, or whatever it was. They were already putting themselves in this scenario, this situation, in their mind, or taking themselves to that position, to that place or thing, and imagining themselves being there, and then it actually happened. So where a lot of people just, they don't believe in themselves, they don't think it's going to happen, it's never going to work, they can't be as good as the other guy or girl on the mat, they can't, it's so many things that I hear on a day-to-day or weekly basis about the way people talk about themselves, and it's really bad. It's saddening to see so many people just not talk highly about themselves. I mean, I see it and hear it all the time, and so it's tough. So the purpose of these videos are to kind of help with that. Like, we need to change the way we look at ourselves. Again, you just hear people all the time talk about arrogance and conceitedness and whatever, but that's not what I'm trying to push here. What I'm trying to push here is you do have to have some type of, like, when you walk into a room, people should gravitate towards you. People shouldn't not know that you're not there. You know what I mean? Like, I have students like that. Like, they're so quiet and, like, kind of really introvert. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just the point that that's just the way they are. But versus the other students that I have, I know they're there. They're there to work. They make themselves known. They make their presence felt. They're there to push the pace. They're there to push other people. And that's what they do. And as a result of that, they're the more successful ones that I have as students, or the people that I've been around, versus the ones that are kind of in the shadows, sit in the back of the room, so to speak, don't want to be up front. When I teach classes, almost on a daily basis, I got to tell students to come in, like, hey, like, get closer. Like, I know a lot of you don't have, or a lot of them don't have, like, great eyesight. They wear glasses, they got contacts, they don't have 20/20 vision, and they're, like, so far away from me, or they're sitting on the side of me, or they're sitting behind me. It's like, how can you see the techniques? But over the years, I guess maybe in high school, whatever, like, it wasn't cool to sit in the front row, right? And over the time, mindsets changed. Like, it is cool to sit in the front row. Like, when I was in jiu-jitsu class and I was a student with my instructor, I wanted to be the person that he used as to demonstrate the techniques, so I can feel and see what he's doing. But I also got up close because I really wanted those details, versus the students that are, like, way in the back, far away, can barely see, like, sitting behind someone else. That's just, it shows a lot about those individuals, like, versus the ones that scoot up close. They want to see, they're hovering over top of you, like, they want to get those goodies. And so that tells me a lot about their attitude on, like, trying to really succeed, versus the other ones are farther away. So anyways, tip number 3, it's impossible to succeed without other people. Your attitude towards others will determine their attitude towards you. And then number 4, in order for you to become what you want, you have to be that already. You already have to do that. You need to, it's that fake it till you make it kind of thing. And then I hear people frowning on that stuff, like in the past or on social media or whatever. Like, I like that. Like be a winner in your mind, be a successful person in your mind. Like, fake it till you make it, even if you're not there yet, but in your mind, that's where you're trying to be, that's where you're trying to go. And then you will get there. Fake it till you make it. Like, I'm not talking about, like, being a phony, like on Instagram or Facebook, where you see that, where, like, you're parked next to or you're standing next to a Lambo that ain't yours, and you're just faking the funk, and you're just trying to, like, take money from people because you're trying to sell something that you really don't know about. I'm talking about, like, putting yourself in scenarios in your mind, and you're being this person that you want to be or become, and you're already putting yourself there, and you're gravitating yourself towards that path. And when you have that kind of thoughts or things, like, whatever in your mind, you're gonna pull it into your life. So if you're negative, that's what you're gonna pull in. If you don't think good about yourself, that's what you're gonna pull in. Versus the opposite of that, if you think good about yourself, you think yourself as a winner, you think yourself as successful, you're going to pull those kind of people in, those things in. Again, it's proof. When I open up my phone every morning or throughout the day, I get all these, it's either investing, motivational or jiu-jitsu videos on my YouTube channel. Like those three things. And it's just all day long. And those are the things that I'm watching, listening to, or, you know, just whatever I find that I can read. So anyways, I'll leave you guys with that. You guys have a great day. I'll catch you guys on the next one. We'll see you.